Anyways. Yeah, fun. Well, with that, I think before this just turns into a whole cycle of commiseration, let's get started and see what Fat Electrician has to tell us about Breadgate. I already know something is going into this about this. He usually knows more than me, though. I know that this is Gavin Newsom doing stupid stuff, signing a law that basically says everyone but the state now has to meet the new minimum wage unless you make bread, and Gavin Newsom's best friend and biggest donator owns Panera Bread. That's what I know. So, yeah. Government corruption from Gavin Newsom, again. As is pretty standard for when it comes to him. Alright, so, that's what I know. Without further ado, let's see what Fat Electrician has to add. I know I'm 2 months behind on this video, but I needed something quick, and I saw it, and it's like, well, I want to signal boost this anyway. So, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mark my words, if this law goes into effect, every single fast food restaurant in the state of California will start selling loaves of bread. Today we're talking about blatant political corruption and Panera Bread, and once I start going down this rabbit hole, I'm not going to be able to stop, so we're going to go ahead and get the ad out of the way right now up front. Zaka Life Go Balm. It's made in the USA, 100% organic, full-spectrum CBD balm that you can put on any ache, any sprain, or athletic injury, and it's going to make it immediately feel better. This is one of the few times that I've actually approached a company to rep their product and not the other way around, because I actually use this stuff, okay? I'm 30, I'm fat, I've been doing construction for years, things hurt.
Don't know who this Gavin character is, but he just said he is the governor of California. He is the governor of California.
This makes it not hurt. 30, I'm fat, I've been doing construction for years, things hurt, this makes it not hurt. So if you're in the same boat as me, go ahead and give this stuff a try over at ZakaLife.com. Use the discount code FAT5 to save some money. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so here's what happened. The minimum wage in California is $16 an hour. The California state government is trying to pass a law that would make the minimum wage for fast food employees $20 an hour. Now, this law isn't designed to affect every restaurant in the state of California. It's specific for fast food chains, and a fast food chain is defined as any chain restaurant that has 60 or more locations nationwide, and those locations have a drive-through, or when they do have in-dining, there is zero table service, so like there's no waiter or waitress. Okay, so exactly what most people think of when they think of fast food. Now, there are some exemptions within the law, so hypothetically, say you took a major chain restaurant like a McDonald's or a Wendy's, an individual restaurant could be exempt from this new minimum wage if that restaurant is inside of an airport, inside of a hotel, inside of an event center, a theme park, a public or private museum, a gambling establishment, or is considered a concession stand, or that restaurant is located on state-owned land. They would no longer have to pay that $20 minimum wage. Now, right off the bat, most of those seem pretty okay, except for that last one about state-owned land. It seems like the government's just basically coming out and saying, hey, everybody has to pay this new minimum wage unless it's a restaurant that we own, in which case we don't have to abide by our own rules. Essentially saying the quiet part out loud of, hey, the government's here to make sure nobody fucks you except for them. But I mean, let's face it, that's pretty much just how it's always been. It's probably how it's always gonna be. Now, this bill makes it all the way through the state government. It's in its final stages. And then at the last moment, somebody adds an additional exemption. And that exemption is that a restaurant is no longer required to pay that minimum wage if they also sell bread as a standalone item, which I think we can all agree is kind of a weird exemption. I mean, off the top of my head, that would pretty much only apply to Panera Bread. At this point, Bloomberg puts 2 and 2 together and they're like, hey, you know who owns a bunch of Panera Breads in the state of California? Governor Newsom's friend. They went to the same high school. They've done business together in the past. He even donated like $160,000 to Governor Newsom's campaign recently. So now Gavin Newsom's taking a bunch of heat for potential political corruption, and he's not just taking it from like Republicans because he's a Democrat. Democrat. No, he's getting it from all sides because it's so fucking obvious that it's political corruption. I mean, he's a Democrat and he got called out by Bloomberg, for fuck's sake. So first, the news outlets ask him, they're like, why did this bread exemption get added in the first place? To which he basically responded, it was part of the sausage making process for the bill and provided no more explanation. And then when the interviewer came out...
Does he not know what the sausage making process implies to like 98% of the American population? Whenever you say sausage making process, it means backroom deals to get something done. By calling it part of the sausage making process, he's flat out saying, yeah, I got paid to do this.
Process for the bill and provided no more explanation. And then when the interviewer came out and just straight up asked him, like, don't you think it's a little bit weird that everybody has to pay a $20 minimum wage except for Gavin Newsom's friend? Gavin Newsom said, no, that's not true because we never talked about it.
It's a friend of Gavin Newsom who doesn't have to pay the $20 an hour minimum wage.
But it turns out, A, it's not true. He never talked to me about it, period, full stop.
Do you understand the gravity of what that dude just...
What? What? I'm actually I want to say something, but I'm actually struggling to find the words for what to say about how inanely stupid that argument is. No, I can't. It cannot come up with. Never knew who doesn't want to punch him in the face. Yeah. This guy is awful. He is a terrible human being. I'm not gonna get into some of the other laws that he's passed, but he's really bad. But this is the tip of the iceberg of some of the stuff this guy's done. I mean. What if, it's like, no, I'm just going to go.
That A, it's not true. He never talked to me about it, period, full stop.
Do you understand the gravity of what that dude just said? He basically got caught red-handed giving a political favor to a buddy, and then when he was directly asked about it, he said, I'm not doing political favors for my friend, and I know that because my friend and I never talked about it. This man is literally trying to gaslight people into thinking they don't know how friendships work. Like, yeah, obviously, me and my friends have never had a direct conversation about not kicking each other in the dick, but also, we're not gonna go kick each other in the dick because we all know we're friends. And you wanna know what's gonna happen? Nothing.
That is probably a better explanation than I was trying to formulate about doing a favor for someone without needing to be asked. Like, no, I'm just gonna let him keep going still.
Absolutely nothing is going to happen because Newsom is a politician and politicians get away with absolutely everything. It's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's if you're in the politician club, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want and you'll never get in trouble. I mean, there are both Republican and Democrat politicians at the federal level right now that supposedly are better stock market investors than fucking Warren Buffett, but they didn't get that good at stock trading until after they became politicians and had access to insider information, but they would never use that insider information. Never. Not once.
Never.
So politicians get away with that.
I still can't believe that's an actual clip of her. Like, that's real. That's not... Nowadays, you see stuff like that, you think, oh, that's gotta be AI, right? No, that one's real. And I still can't believe that.
Meanwhile, I'm over... So politicians get away with that. Meanwhile, I'm over here getting $120 tickets because the window tint on my car is apparently too dark, even though that's the exact same tint that came on it from the fucking factory. And that's not even the worst part. Like, am I frustrated about blatant political corruption? Yeah, but I see it so much, so often, I'm basically desensitized to it at this point. The most frustrating part of this particular Breadgate incident is that it just highlights that politicians have absolutely no understanding of cause and effect. Seriously, I've got a 3-year-old that can put a 4-piece two-piece puzzle together, and I'm willing to bet a significant portion of these politicians can't. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to show you. Let's do a thought experiment together. McDonald's has come out and said that this new minimum wage increase is going to cost McDonald's $250,000 a year per location. Okay, let's pull up Google. How many McDonald's are in the state of California? 1,224. Okay, multiply that by $250,000. That's $306 million a year. Okay, are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Because I'm trying to tell you that the California state government is about to put McDonald's in a situation where McDonald's can A, pay $306 million, or they can B, figure out how to bake a fucking loaf of bread inside their restaurant every day. Which one do you think McDonald's, aka one of the most successful capitalist endeavors ever, is gonna take, okay? Every fucking McDonald's in California is gonna have an easy bake oven on the front desk, and they're gonna bake a single fucking loaf of bread every day, and now they don't have to pay the new minimum wage because politicians are this fucking stupid. And then not only is McDonald's gonna sidestep the entire minimum wage, they're also gonna charge $1,000 for that loaf of bread because they fucking can. It's gonna turn it into an internet meme, which is gonna give them free marketing. And you know what? Some people are still gonna buy the $1,000 loaf of bread just to say they did it. Remember when Szechuan dipping sauce for McNuggets was selling for $15,000 on eBay? Yeah, that's also gonna happen. And remember, it's not just McDonald's that's gonna be doing this. It's gonna be every fast food chain in the entire state, because all they have to do is bake a couple loaves of bread and save hundreds of millions of dollars a year. That's probably what they're gonna do. And it's like, at least with the political corruption, I can understand it. Like, I don't approve of it. I'm not a fan, but I can understand the notion that somebody's willing to break the law and fuck other people over for financial gain. I don't like it, but I can understand it. I, for the life of me, cannot wrap my head around the concept of a politician, somebody that's in charge of the rules of society, not having the mental capacity to understand the simple logic of, if I do this, they'll do that. How in the fuck is that a thing? It's like they're in a Three Stooges movie and they stop, look at the rake, and then step on it and smack themselves in the face anyways. I don't understand. There's truly nothing the government cannot mess up. They mess up absolutely everything they get anywhere near touching, and it has the weirdest ramifications on the planet. In the 1940s, the government bolstered the dairy industry because they wanted to be able to buy more ice cream for the Navy during World War II, and now there's 7 billion pounds of cheese in an underground cave network in Missouri. In the 1960s, JFK and Lyndon B. Johnson tried to incentivize Germans to buy more American chicken, and now for some reason I'm not allowed to own a Toyota Hilux. And now it's looking like the California state government tried to raise the minimum wage for fast food workers and somehow didn't do that, but inadvertently made every fast food...
I think I know what video we're watching tomorrow if I can manage to stream. Because what? I knew about the cheese, but what the heck is this about the chicken in the truck? Also, for me to just throw in another example of, well, duh, $7,000 or whatever it is tax credit for electric vehicles. All the electric vehicles went up in price by between $8,000 and $8,500. They called it inflation. It happened within a month of the tax credit coming out.
Restaurant in for fast food workers, and somehow didn't do that, but inadvertently made every fast food restaurant in the state sell loaves of bread. So in conclusion, I guess we'll just focus on the small silver lining of this entire story, and that is that pretty much every news outlet, left-leaning or not, has decided to call out a corrupt politician, and we need more of that in the world. Quit playing party politics where you defend somebody just because they have your same political beliefs or they're on your side, and call out corruption when you see it, whether they're supposed to be on your team or not. That's exactly how the world should be, and I think it's great journalism. So if that's your guys' news outlet and you were part of that, kudos. I appreciate it, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Whack, bang, out.
Didn't know about the chickens. Better watch that and buckle up. Oh boy. The only thing that has to do with chickens in Europe that I know about is the atomic landmines. I don't know if that's the same thing or if that's how we, or if that, or what, but those are the only chickens that I know about when it comes to Europe and Germany and stuff. That's not the same at all? Okay. Just buckle up. All right. It's just... Ah. Yeah, that's a reference. Yeah, so the Fat Electrician, Breadgate, I'm a little late to the party for reaction to it, but still got to keep signal boosting it, because every time something like that happens, it needs to be talked about. Honestly, I feel like he should have been, like, investigated immediately with that one. Of course he wasn't. He just got interviewed a couple times, and then that was it as far as I know.